I'm gonna need y'all to not judge me on this one. Listen, I understand that when I get to the pearly gates, I know that my robe might be a little dusty, got a little soot on my pinky toe. But I just need y'all to help me understand this. All right. So I told y'all before about one of the deacons, right? That be spraying on, the hair and stuff, y'all. I'm just saying this was a IKYL moment for me. GA, he got a fade now. He got a fade. He got a fade. But here's he got a fade, but GA. I was like, oh, okay. So he done started like trimming it up. So like maybe, so you know how when the music get all up tempo and stuff, folks start to sweating and all of this. And you know how it is at a black church. I'm just y'all know where it is, right? So, the shoe polish that he put in his head start coming on down through the fade. Saying now that was a IKYL moment for me, y'all. I'm just saying, like, for real, like why we can't let it go? You gonna do this with the fade? I would have rather you kept the fro, bro. I'm just saying, am I wrong, y'all? I'm just saying, am I wrong? I'm looking at this black shoe polish, coming down the side, and now you got a black handkerchief, so like we ain't gonna know, and we can't see the black sweat beads coming down the side of your face. I'm just saying, come on, D. Come on, D. Now your fade don't look like a fade. I'm just okay. I'm gonna stop. Like your whole head jack off. Oh gosh, I'm just saying, y'all. I just needed to get that off my chest. That was mine. Now, is that fair? Am I wrong for finding that humorous, y'all? Is that one of those IKYL? Like, I know you lying. I know you is not putting no shoe polish on the fade. They got to do it. They got to do it. Oh, oh man. Anybody else got an IKYL moment that they done synced over the last 7 days? I just need to know that I wasn't the only one. I got one. I'm a little ashamed to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm gonna say it anyway. Y'all, you all, you know that the South, they do some strange things. You also know that church folk do some strange things. But you all, I saw, and I'm trying to remember while I'm saying it, where I saw it. But they buried this pastor. They buried this pastor in a casket on its end. Say what now? On the end. Wait, run that back. Pastor in a casket. And when you bury the casket, when you put it in the ground in the vault, it's generally laid flat, like with the person on the back. That's not what they did. They buried the pastor with the casket on the end, like the pastor standing up. But that ain't the best part. Not the best part. Not the best part. They had a window on the casket. I'm about to hang up. I'm about to hang up on y'all. See, you play too much. KYL. I thought it, but I said, I know you lied. I know you lied. Sure enough, they sure did. They put him standing up. And the thought process was, well, he might get up in 3 days and he need to see where he's going. I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. Close the church doors, put a lock on it. I'm finished. Oh Lord. Y'all, okay, so y'all, if y'all agree that these two incidences are at least, I just need y'all to say on three, IKYL. Ready? 1, 2, 3. IKYL. We can pass the offering plate. Oh man. Shoe polish on the fade. in a standing up casket with a window. You know what? Y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. Anybody else? A question. Like, how far was he into them? This was the pastor, the preacher? No, this one of far into the where was he? Oh, I was nowhere around. Somebody, somebody told my daughter, and my daughter told me. Crazy. Yeah. I heard the pictures. I had to find it. She emailed it to me. Yeah, they feet first with a window. I cannot. I cannot. Does anybody? Marla, Marcus, Malika. Oh, so no, is there a medical reason a person needs to be buried that way? Stop. You need to stop it. Johnson, you are dead. This no. You ain't finna be resurrected in the casket. Oh Lord. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. I promise y'all, we got content. I just had to get that off. Y'all can see why we had to get this off our chest. Y'all can see. Y'all can see. I wanted us to have this dinner with champions. You get what I'm saying? Deuce is wild tonight. Deuce is wild tonight. But I think we got us some supervision. So any last call for any IKYL, because I'm about to get into it. I'm fixing to get into it. Last call. Last call for alcohol. Okay. Alrighty, y'all. I'm Shawnte Health Wells. Y'all know I'm Mabel's granddaughter. So tonight, I don't know why people put a preposition before, you know. It doesn't go on tonight. That doesn't go before that. Okay. Anyways, fix your heart. That's my text today. Fix your heart. Then go carry something. Y'all see what I did there? Fix your heart. Then go carry something. See, I want to talk to y'all about Rucking and vitamin D. We finna throw some D up on it. All right. See, I need us to understand this. It's like when we talk about fixing our heart, it's like us having prayer without movement. Because like if we just sit and don't do nothing with it, it's like just sitting there letting a good idea just be still. And then we ain't doing Nathaniel about it. And we're just like, oh, okay. Some of us we be asking God for a breakthrough, but you know what we do? But you know what we do? Well, we won't even break a sweat. How you do that there? So we asking for a breakthrough, but yet we not willing to put no action around nothing. We won't move the great body that he gave us. You mean the house that's housing us? We won't even invest in it. We not even willing to carry a little bit of weight, a little teeny weight. Do you know how much movement they were doing during biblical times? Before all these modern contraptions, like our bodies were designed to carry weight, y'all. And so I really, really wanted to, I'm taking my text from Psalms 51, verse 10, y'all. And it says, create in me a clean heart, oh God, renew a right, steadfast spirit within me. That's the AMP amplified version. See, this ain't just a prayer, y'all. Like this is a process request. That's what I need to kind of like really, land on right here. I need it to really come through that. Listen, a clean heart, yeah, but that's internal work. A steadfast spirit, what that mean? Oh, that sounds like consistency, not just vibe. We just vibing, just the vibes. Nah, this ain't one of those. Oh, we gonna do it when we feel like it. You realize there are people. I was literally going across this whole street, and I'm looking at lawn after lawn after lawn. You know what, GA? I was like, man, these lawns are pristine, pristine. But yet and still, how many people make sure they lawn clean? They make sure they car clean. Oh, that whip be clean. They tires is cleaner than their heart, cleaner than them arteries. So it just made me just ponder like, that's interesting. Interesting. Clean heart. We got a clean yard, but we ain't got a clean heart. We got a clean bathroom, but we ain't got a clean heart. We got a clean kitchen, but we ain't got a clean heart. We got a clean microwave. Well, I don't know. Some of y'all, some of these microwaves be looking a little iffy. We around here talking about a clean floor. Some of y'all got clean rugs. But what about your heart? What about your heart? What them arteries got a gangster lean on them. I'm just saying. And for those of y'all who like people to take off their shoes, I pray to God that if I come to your house and your light switches is dirty, I'm going to have 50 11 fits. You hear me? Because you got even more germs on the high touch points, but you worry about somebody taking off them shoes. You ain't who you fooling? Who you fooling? Some of y'all more worried about your floor being clean, that rug and your couch, and you ain't worried about your heart. I'm just saying, I'm talking to me as I'm talking to you. Listen, hey, I got to do what it told me. So that consistency, y'all. So today I'm gonna show you how rucking, and guess what? That sunlight is one of those underrated things. And here's the thing: you ain't even had to pay for it. You ain't even got to pay for it. You can get it for free. The sun is really outside. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, GA. We be talking about being outside, but the sun is really outside. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I want y'all to understand this. I'm gonna show you a simple, easy way that you ain't even got to go to the doctor to check your vitamin D levels. I'm gonna show you a quick little physical thing that you could do right now in real time, right? But I need you to understand what I mean by rucking, just in case somebody is thinking like, oh, what is she talking about? What is rucking? Walking with weight. That's it. Walking with weight. You could get you a weighted vest. You can get you, a backpack, put you some water bottles in it, or you could buy an actual rucksack. You can start light, real, real light. But here's the thing. I need you to look at rucking like this. You know what? Adult recess. Yay! Okay, y'all. I might have had a little too much lion's mane today, so I'm your girl a little extra. So here's three quick reasons, right? I need you to think about a way to get strength without tearing up your knees. I'm talking about posture, improving that posture. Yeah, yeah. Come on, knees in the back for the people in the back. And then I'm talking about, listen, we got to start walking around like life done beat us up from the flow up. From the flow all the way up. Some other like we got beat up by the way we be carrying our bike. Listen, rucking can help you improve that posture. And lastly, we talking about building some endurance, and you ain't even got to have no fancy gym. I ain't gonna say the reference I was about to because I was like maybe we gotta wait till after 9 o'clock, GA. After 9 o'clock, I can't say what I was gonna say. I was thinking about the Revenge of the Nerds. It's too early. It's too early. So listen, now we at that. Listen, let's throw that D, throw that D. That's what Luther Campbell said. Listen, he running for all Congress now, y'all. I'm just saying. There's another song out there. See, listen, you is not no house plant. I need you to get outside. You ain't no house plant. I need you to get outside, y'all. Is anybody in a snow area right now? Like it ain't snowing right now, right? Everybody got at least warm enough air the way you can step outside, right? Ain't nobody dealing with snow. Knee surgeries had knee surgeries. Jesus. Oh Lord, that is too funny. Too funny. Listen. All right, so I need y'all to help understand this. Listen, help me out. Help me out. Listen. Most Americans, I think the last number I heard was 96% are vitamin D deficient. Do you realize that's like less than 4% of everybody in this country have proper vitamin D levels, and I'm one of them. This ain't got nothing to do with your weight, y'all. Like, I need y'all to stop focusing all of your attention on the 20% and you leaving the other 80. And guess what? Man, big pharma, big sugar running amok on you and your family. You ain't thinking about the basic nutrients that you need to keep this engine going. Basic nutrients that you need to make sure that you keep this heart clean. You need to throw some D up on it. Listen, when you get to have those Wonder Twins, when you talking about rucking and throwing some D, listen, I'm telling you, now you gliding. Now you listen, styling and profiling. Woo! Listen, we talking about boosting our mood. We talking about strengthening them bones and guess what? Our muscles. So you getting a tooth fur. All right. And then how about we supporting that immune system? And hey, wait, there's more. How about we regulating hormones? I don't know about y'all, but listen, there's such a thing as menopause, but there's also women who deal with perimenopause and menopause. So I'm just saying that D, get you right. Hey, get your mind out the gutter. Get your mind out the gutter. It's time for us to throw that D. It's time for us to throw that D on that rug. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So listen, if you tired and you moody and you foggy, the sun be like, I got you, boo. Listen, but you still scrolling. You still scrolling. I got you. I just want you to come outside. See, a lot of people tell me, oh, I'm outside. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. You wait good and well till the sun go down, then you want to go outside. Now the sun is like, I got you, boo. I got you. You talking about you tired. You must be ain't tired enough. You won't come outside. You talking about you moody. You obviously ain't moody enough because you won't come outside. Listen, you got the brain fog. Guess what? Step outside. And guess what? The sun got you, literally and figuratively. Ah, you see what I did there? See what I did there, GA? All right, y'all. I'm gonna bring this thing on home. Because I love the fact that we got Mr. Black in the building. And my brother GA and GA, I got some questions for you too. Listen, I need y'all to understand this. You can't renew your spirit in the dark all day. I'm gonna say it again. One more again. Listen, you can't renew your spirit in the dark all day. A clean heart needs exposure to light. Do you realize this also affects your circadian rhythm? Some of y'all sleep toe up because you won't get your behind outside in the daytime. Just even if you just stood out there for 30 seconds and come on back in. That light exposure, come on, 30, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Get that signal. Do y'all realize it? Oh my gosh, fun fact, you guys. Fun fact. Okay, this is my translator. Do you know your eyes are a part of your brain? It's literally the way that your brain gets to see outside. Literally. It's not like a separate organ like you've been led to believe. It's your brain getting to see. And so that signaling for the sun, like humans used to, step outside when the sun rose, not inside. So your that light signal goes very quickly. Very, very quickly, y'all. Same thing about the grounding that I talked to y'all about last week. I'm just saying, fun fact. So your eyes are really your brain. I need you to, if you can think of it like that 30 seconds, boom, going on ahead, get outside. Hey, and then there's light. Okay, you're welcome. Y'all see how I can nerd out.
Well, I'm so glad you're bringing this up because, listen, I was probably a few years ago, I had told my doctor how fatigued I was and just some different things that was going on. And she checked my vitamin D level, and I am definitely deficient. So I've had to get a supplement just for that reason. But the first thing she said, get your butt outside. So just what you're talking about is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yes, ma'am.
So yes, what you're saying is real, and I know it's a cultural thing too, right?
Yeah, I was. Oh, see, you in my closing. See, you in my closing. See, I was gonna tell y'all. See, this therapy without the copay. You get what I'm saying? Y'all, we could get this for free, but we acting like it's a premium subscription. You get me, GA? I'm just saying. So here's the thing. Here's the combo. Here's the combo. I need y'all to understand, like when we creating a clean heart, this requires action. When you're renewing the right spirit within, this requires repetition. And so this repetition needs to be had when it comes down to this test. Now I'm gonna the link above, that is the strongest, quickest way if you are vitamin D deficient after you perform this little test. Uh-huh. Listen, you can, if you find a liposomal form of vitamin D3 specifically, usually it's going to come packaged with K2. I promise you, we're gonna get you up in there where you need to be. It'll change your life. It'll change your life. Now, listen, this is something that you're gonna have to really take like medicine because it don't taste that great. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. All right. So I want you to take your thumb. I want you to think about your shin bone where your calves, are the harder bone, the one like right in the center. And I want you to take your thumb. Like the palmer side of it, right? Not the part that got you, the top of it, the bottom, the inside. you know, and I want you to just lightly press on your shin bone, which is called your tibia, on both sides, either side. If it feels slightly like uncomfortable or tender, your vitamin D levels are low. If it felt fine, and I ain't talking about you just put like a light, I'm telling you, apply just a little bit of pressure. I ain't telling you to act like you trying to, dig off in there, but like just a little light pressure to the bone, right on the bone. And if you feel any tenderness, I do this in the training room, I do this with my athletes. This avoids you having to go and, hey, I don't know about y'all, but them copays can add up. I'm just saying. So and before you have to take a trip, you can test and see just for yourself. And I learned that from a team physician. This isn't Shawnte technique. This is something I learned from an orthopedic surgeon, because guess what? You ain't got 50, 11 days and hours to be seeing 50 plus guys on the football team, all coming in for a vitamin D test, when they are simple. There's physical ways that you can check, you know? So if you notice that you're a little tender, and here's the thing, if you are someone with melanin, like deeper melanin in your skin, right? I.e., if you're black, African American, biracial, and you got a little extra melanin in your skin, listen, you got a built-in sunblock filter that doesn't allow you to absorb the amount that you would need, from the sun. So there's a high probability that if you are someone with a deeper, got a little more melanin in your skin, you may need to supplement. So if you need a bar to kind of gauge on, if you like caramel and darker, you most likely gonna need to supplement. I'm just saying. You ain't gonna you might need to supplement something. So, even those who are a little high yellow and olive tone, listen, unless you finna be out there for put it like this. Those who can get it the easiest typically are like the redhead, green-eyed type people. They can get vitamin D from the sunlight quickly. Blonde hair, blue eyes would be next. So you see how it goes. Right? It goes because everybody has melanin, unless you're, someone that has, albinism and vitiligo, then you see how skin looks without melanin in it. But for the most part, all of us have it. We have varying degrees. So, yeah, pretty much like the darker your hair, typically the more the melanin levels are. So typically people who naturally have red hair and blonde hair, they tend to have less melanin in their skin overall, so they can get vitamin D, very easily. Everybody else, it's like depends on how much time you spend out there. But the darker you go, the less you are able to absorb from like the sun naturally, but you still do get some. You just won't get enough. I hope I'm being clear. Any questions around that, y'all, before I open this thing up? I just wanted to know if anyone also did the vitamin D test that I just showed you. Anybody pressed to see? Pressed. Pressed. And it felt like titanium. Wow. Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, I taught everybody. Oh my God, you're so country. Oh man. See what you walked into, Rucking? No, can I explain it again? So if you take your thumb, and it's important to use your thumb. Okay, I won't take for granted. I understand. You know what? Because I had this happen to me. There was somebody that I made a mistake in saying, well, if you're missing a nub, you can use your pointing finger. So I don't want to take for granted that everyone has a thumb. So if you're missing a thumb, you can use one of your other fingers, but I would suggest if you have two fingers, if you don't have two fingers, maybe you can have someone who has, the thumb, or if you don't have two digits, uh I would say get some assistance. So, but it's ideally if you could take the thumb, go to the center of your tibia. Think about like the most bony part on your calf, right in the front, right in the front, and just lightly press down on it. If you feel any pain or like if it feels tender or some, like discomfort, then your vitamin D levels are low. So that's an easy training room trick that we utilize before we have to send someone to go, and actually get the test. So that's an easy way, see, to save you a trip. You can check your vitamin D levels, you know, on your own at home, so you don't have to waste.
Shin splints and stuff from the military and stress fractures. How
Yeah.
can you tell the difference between that?
Yeah, I have, if they're healed, I have shin splints, but you should be able to, it wouldn't matter if you're just sitting in a seated position and you're rested, you shouldn't feel tender in the center. It shouldn't feel tender at all when you're at rest. Like the bone, like you should not feel tenderness. But again, 96% of Americans are vitamin D deficient. So there's a high probability. And of course, African Americans tend to be, the majority on that list just because of the built-in sunblock that we have that makes us absorb less vitamin D from direct sunlight. So if it's tender, there's probability unless you're, and even the 1000 IUs, that is not based on people who have more melanin. So typically we need more. You might need a dose and a half just to get you to where you need to be. So if you felt any tenderness, then I would suggest get an actual like blood test done. So that way, so that's just one of those ways that we, help people not have to waste money. So if there was zero tenderness at all in it, then, it's safe to say that you don't have a vitamin D deficiency. But the vast majority of people do, and especially African Americans.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah,
Thank you.
totally. Okay.
That's powerful stuff because you might have a little tenderness. It might be Al Green right there on your ship on. You may not know. So I appreciate that you shared that. Y'all know, anything. I wrote a song about it. Want to hear it go. I'm seriously, and I just pressed mine. I know, and lady, I know all ladies aren't fortunate like Marla. She said that she had a vitamin D deficiency, so she just went and married a man named Donald.
You know what?
I got on tonight.
Get y'all spray and Rocky and Health. Get Malika. Get y'all spray.
Oh Lord.
Hey, Mama, we can't do nothing. Hey, do this. Do me a favor. Extend your hand out. Extend your right hand. Right? Is it out? Your right hand is flat.
I'm just saying, some people.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I'm just saying, some people got a special kind of deliverance. Everybody don't have privy to it, but we appreciate it. Mr. Black, man, I'm so glad you in the building, sir. Say something to the people. Talk to us for a minute, sir.
Something to the people, man. Nah, I appreciate y'all having me, man. I'm actually on a vitamin D supplement myself. It's not D3 though, it's D2, which I'm like, that's interesting. I don't know what the difference is. It's all the same to me, but yeah, I appreciate the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Something, a journey that I've been on, really deeply prioritizing my health. So my dad, I almost lost my dad a couple months ago. Some of you heard me tell that story on here. And it is from the culmination of a lack of prioritizing his own health his entire life. So he literally laid in his bed, rotting away, quite literally had infection all through his body, septic all over his body, literally almost left us. And then now he's still in the facility. He's been in the facility since February. So yeah, he's been in the facility for months, in a rehab facility, getting him back up to speed and going through this and going through that, literally unable to use the restroom without assistance. And I just saw that, and I literally watched him slowly fade over time, never prioritizing his health, never taking the appropriate steps to do something about it. Because it's one thing when you have debilitating, crippling illnesses that you can do nothing about. It is an entirely different thing when you just, due to your own negligence, let yourself rot away. And so I decided, as for me and mine, I'm not going to do that. I don't choose that path. So, yeah, sometimes a lot of people don't want to go to the doctors and do these tests, these different tests and things you're talking about, because they're afraid of what diagnosis they may hear. But guess what? Your fear of what they're going to say don't change the facts. And at some point, you got to face the reality of the life in which you live and the choices in which you made. Listen, you always got to pay the piper. It's always going to come a time to pay the piper. I know this because I've been outside on the track running and I've been dying. And now all them beautiful, glorious, wonderful, luxurious, greasy chicken wings I've been eating since I've been living in Memphis back home, yeah, it's always going to come time to pay the piper. So now here I am, and I'm not running from it. I ain't ducking no smoke. I'm grateful to have the ability to do so, but I'm just saying not on my watch. So you hear this conversation, if you're in the room and you hear the laughs and the jokes and the fun and the games, and that's good because you know what I'm saying. It sometimes makes a tough pill easier to swallow when it's wrapped in a little bit of honey, a little bit of smiles and laughter. But at the end of the day, the root, the base of what is being communicated is you got to take a good look in the mirror. You got to figure out what it is that you need, and you got to not be afraid to go get the news you need to get and figure out, do something about it. Don't just allow yourself to, like, you're just tired, you don't know why, not knowing that something is happening on the inside. You're like, man, I'm just struggling. I've been killing myself and losing no pounds. I'm going the wrong way. Well, there's probably something off on the inside. It's probably some supplement you'll need. I had a doctor, my doctor was talking to me the other day. They used to say, you need vitamin D, just go drink some milk. My doctor's like, you have to drink like 40 gallons of milk to even begin to see any effect from actual vitamin D, direct sunlight, or supplementation. Like, it's supplementation is what's needed. So I'm saying all this to say, like, do something about it. You see something here, you see a link, they vouch for products, go talk to a doctor, go talk to somebody. But at the end of the day, your health is your wealth, right? I know you know that, Miss Shawnte. Your health is your wealth. So tap in. Do whatever it is you need to do unapologetically because you're worth it. Your future is worth it. The people you love is worth it. What you're building is worth it. The dreams that you have is worth it. The purpose that you live on this planet is worth it. So get up and take care of yourself, man. Do what you need to do because you can. All right, man. That's what I got to say, brother.
Woo!
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's one of the things I love about you, Marcus, is that you're about execution and application, man.
So did you know? Can I add really quick to what Marcus said when you're done?
Absolutely. Go right ahead, Rocky. Jump in.
I had learned that if you look at, there's a couple of things with vitamin D. Did you know, like, vitamin D isn't even, and I'm sure Shawnte knows the measurement, it's only 100 IU. So I'm pretty sure, Marcus, it's way more than that that you would need to drink. And vitamin D is the least, like, even drinking that would never be enough for your body, period. And so when because I'm extremely deficient and I feel like I can't catch up sometimes, and they told us to just sit outside in the sun for 30 minutes, expose your forearms, expose your legs, sit out there for 30 minutes every single day, and don't listen to anybody about the vitamin D toxicity. You can't, if we were to overdose on vitamin D, we wouldn't be able to go out to the beach and hang out all day long because the sun supplies way more IU of vitamin D than we could ever take in a pill as well. So the sun is like number one, and then the pill is number two. And then I wish, if you could, Shawnte, could you talk about the difference between vitamin D2 and vitamin D3? Because you have to look at which one your doctor prescribes as well, because one is more healthier than the other.
Yeah, so this is the first, honestly, that I've heard anyone bring up vitamin D2, like all of our training, because most of, the pro athletes are African Americans, and most of us are specifically like deficient with vitamin D3, and that's the main one that's needed that does all those lovely things that I had just mentioned. So I'm not, and that's usually also because they tend to come packaged together with K2. So I would actually have to honestly make a phone a friend. I would have to call Dr. Strong and be like, hey, vitamin D2, what's up? Yeah, D3 is usually it.
D3 helps you raise your levels. D2 helps you maintain your levels. One is a chlorophyll based, and the other one is just to maintain it if you're already good. That's the difference between the two of them.
Yeah, we've not put any of our guys ever. Like I'm just thinking, not with the Vikings, not with the Heat. Not I just can't think of like one team to where we specifically like focused in on K2 because here's the thing that we also understand I here's what my theory would be on that piece, why they don't spend it, because like melanin interacts with our ability to synthesize the vitamin D, period. No matter what the number is. Like that's the thing we're overcoming. And so I think that's why most of the focus is on the vitamin D3 specifically since the vast majority of our population are African Americans. So that's where our focus typically is. So I've never honestly it's never really come up at all like I said. So everything that I've been talking about tonight, you guys, has been vitamin D3. So I would say
D2 either until they prescribed it. I used
yeah.
to take D3. That was the first supplement. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's good stuff.
Severely deficient, they give you D2 to raise it right quick, and then they give you D3.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we usually have our guys on a regimen of liposomal. So if you guys, you can look up any kind of, company that you want, but it is the most bioavailable way to, as far as supplementation goes, to get it into the cells. That's what a liposomal process is. So if you're doing, let's say, for instance, like iron on a liposomal, I mean, doctors themselves, like if you actually have access to be in, like close proximity and they can give you IVs all these other ways, but I'm saying for you as a regular person on the street, liposomal is the quickest way that you can do it, like over the counter, OTC, just to give you guys that little tidbit when you're looking at supplementation. So I would highly suggest, look and find one that if you're severely like, deficient in certain supplements, look for a liposomal form of it so that you can raise your levels that much quicker. And so all of the vitamin D supplementation that I do is always liposomal, as well as a glutathione, like people who are deficient, not having enough antioxidants, or some people who just know they ain't gonna do what they need to do. A lot of times they prefer to just go the liposomal method and just put it in like some tea or mushroom coffee, whatever floats their boat. So hopefully that helps. But my last statement I wanted to say to y'all was this: like we can ask God, for discipline, but if you're gonna ghost the process, you know, like is that really gonna be effective? So if we're gonna pray for discipline, we can't keep ghosting the process along with it. So faith actually works. Faith actually works. So you know how the scripture says faith without works is dead? Faith actually works. Don't treat this body like it's a house that you get to move out of while you on this side of heaven, while you in this earth. This is your forever home. So you ain't gonna get to move out of this boo until it's that final hour. So I need us to protect it and treat it, like it is our forever home. Don't take better care of your physical house and your lawn and your possessions more than you do with this. This is why our message for me and GA has been invest in the house that houses you. Thank y'all. GA, over to you. I got a question about spirit though.
You know what? What you have to do, let me answer your question for you. You got to try the spirit by the spirit. That's
Okay, I'm gonna give you time to change out your link. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying, they wilding down here, GA. So, I told y'all Uncle Luke is running for office, right? Anybody know? Pop that Doodoo Brown. Oh, that Uncle Luke.
I'm just saying.
Him.
They showing out down there, but the man was on the TV today.
Oh Lord.
My God, if you got a ticket, don't you come over here. Ain't nobody here. You all go. Don't come down here because we can't fly you nowhere.
Whosoever.
That's what he said. I was cracking up. The lady said, well, are we going to have any questions? There's nothing to talk about. He walked off. I said, my God.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
what you got up, Spirit? What's going on? What's the question?
Okay, so okay, so since folks are like upset, of course the narrative, and I think it's because he's running for office, and I know that it's deeper than this. So he's trying to say like, oh, he knows like look at how many like Floridians that Trump and DeSantis and them being in, South Florida, like how are they letting this many people like look at what it's doing to our economy because Spirit did employ a lot of people down here. And so like they're trying to say like oh like it's their fault but yet and still I don't think it's a partisan thing because I remember like JetBlue I thought was trying to make a play to merge and Spirit was trying to and I know that Biden had shut it down. I'm just it was a while ago but like they've made several attempts and so I guess I'm just trying to like tease out like the insolvency, since you taught us that word. Like, were they insolvent long ago and it just now just came to a head? Or like, how did it get here, GA? And, weren't they public? Like, weren't they having
Right.
stocks? Yeah.
With Spirit. Spirit's been in trouble for like 3 years, 3.5, 4 years. They've been in trouble. And this was the government trying to step in and buy Spirit was probably the 10th bailout attempt that they had. They've had JetBlue try to buy them. They had Delta try to buy them. There was a lot of deals at the table, a lot of deals. If I remember, oh gosh, I want to say Amazon, but that's not right. Somebody else tried to come to the table. They've had a lot of deals come to the table, and they just fell through. Some of them because the stakeholders were too greedy. Sometimes the shareholders were too greedy. Sometimes the board, it didn't work out with the board. It was a lot of things. They just could not come to an agreement. And literally, this last time the government came, the actual U.S. government came 3 times to the table with an offer. And the counter offer just didn't work. So that's why they went the way that they went. It was kind of like 2008. Y'all remember in 2008 where Warren Buffett called, what was the guy's name? I can't think of his name. It was Dick something. But he called Lehman Brothers when they were tanking. When Henry Paulson called all the major banks and Lehman Brothers didn't show up and call them all together on that Saturday and say, look, we already bailed out one group. Y'all don't have to take this debt. And Warren Buffett called him, called the head of Lehman Brothers and said, look, I will give you the money to stop your slide. And he said, and he offered him $7 per share. He said, what are you talking about? We were $66 a share 4 days ago. I'm not going to take it. And that's what caused the domino effect that fell out in 2008. It was the same deal. They just would not listen and take the deal that was offered to them. If they would have, they would have been okay, but they just didn't.
I just don't know what other outcome they thought was possible charging $22 for a ticket. Like, how did you think this was going to end?
They really thought that volume was going to outpace financial fiduciary responsibility.
You got less than 100 planes. How you gonna like? It's only so much. Like I see, if you had 1,000 planes, they had like 90-something planes in operation. So you can't do the volume you need to make that model profitable with not that many units in operation.
Man, let me tell you something. Crack is a powerful drug.
There you go. It's inevitable. Like you one crisis away, and then here we go. The fuel now doubled in price. You can't afford the gas, so now you sitting here, but you still charging. And listen, I'm not complaining. I went to Vegas several times for less than $100 round trip on Spirit. So, I mean, listen. I wasn't complaining. But as a business model, like you gotta be wiser. Like, come on, it's a reason why Delta American. Like, there's a reason why they've been around as long as they've been around, you know, because of their model. And even Southwest said, all right, we love y'all, but we gotta, if they was headed for the same outcome if they didn't switch the model. And all the old head Southwest people, which I was one of them, was upset at first. Now you got to sign seats. Now you got to pay for upgrades. Now you got to pay for bags. Like, but that's the only way they're going to have a viable business is if they catch up.
You can't do it. You cannot actually. And the thought process, again, I think it's horrible business practice. But sometimes people start businesses with the exit in mind. And what they think oftentimes, and it works out that way sometimes. It does. It's not often, it's not common, but sometimes you have something that the growth and the popularity of it goes at such a breakneck speed that people say, oh my gosh, the numbers don't match, but this is expanding so great. We're going to offer, 3, 4, 5, 6 times the dollar to get it, and then we'll restructure it to make money off of it. That never happened with Spirit. That's what they thought. Because if you think, remember the Ring doorbell cameras? Those guys were on Shark Tank. And they were broke when they got on there. And Mark Cuban offered to buy the whole thing. I think it was Mark Cuban and Kevin O'Leary offered to buy the whole thing for like $30, $40 million. They said, nope, not going to do it. And it turns out for them that the actual popularity of it, they got infusion, they got people, and it actually worked out for them. Neural Gum, the same thing. Mark Cuban offered them $60 million to buy their whole company. They chose not to. Now that company's worth $150 million. So, I mean, it's rare cases it works. Spirit, no, not going to work. I wouldn't have in a million years thought it was going to work just because the lion's share of their cost is fuel. And like you said, Marcus, they didn't have enough vehicles. But you know what? I was like, man, I wish I had.
GA.
Gotta buy me a plane. No.
So when I'm thinking about, like, I'm wondering if they bit off more than they could chew. So, because when you look at JetBlue and some of the other low cost providers, they're not trying to fly all over the place like Spirit was. Like, I think about like Breeze Airlines, and I know TM was tearing it up, but I'm just like, they only go in specific markets. Like, they're not trying to do like Spirit was trying to fly all around like with the big boys at those Walmart prices. And I just, like, I'm with Marcus on that. Like, how is that really sustainable? But I'm noticing like JetBlue has been around, think about it, all these years. But they're not flying everywhere. They're not Delta, they're not American or Continental, they're not excuse me, any of those. And I'm wondering if you are going to do those like lower ticket things, is it that you're specializing in a specific market and you only running those routes, specifically? Like, I noticed Breeze seems like they're just up and down the eastern border, you know what I mean? Like, they're on the
Yeah.
East Coast and that's it.
No, I can't tell y'all this, but I'll tell you, ear to the ground, what's in the small rooms with the locked doors is ego ran them into the ground. That's what the rumor is. Now there's no viability. I can't give you no names to back that up, but that's what the rumor says. They wanted to be everywhere, like you said, where the big boys were, and ego ran them into the ground. It just didn't make any sense, and they were told, and they just didn't listen. That's what the rumor is. That they were, you know, they were trying to. It was what that old Cat Williams joke. A 300 looks like a phantom until a phantom pulls up, and it was that's pretty much was the deal. That's what I heard. But I was just shocked. And I say this, I still got my eye kind of turned to the side because if I was sitting in like Larry Ellison's position, I would let them declare bankruptcy, let those debts actually get written off, And then I go scoop up all the equipment and everything around them and all of their clients and all of their staff and everything. Scoop them up, pennies on the dollar, reconstructure it, re reconfigure the whole company top to bottom. And Rocky was making a joke, but yeah, they wouldn't be Spirit, they'd be Sprint. And I just have them in about 16 different airports, maybe 10, and grow from there. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have done. That's what I said. Of course, because I would have done that in a heartbeat. And I still believe somebody's going to do it. They're going to buy all the equipment and everything else. They're going to change the color of the plane. You'll see it come back out. Absolutely sure somebody's going to do that.
I'm thinking Breeze or JetBlue now is probably gonna swoop in. I wouldn't be surprised at that. But okay, I'm gonna let you get to your content. But I got two quick questions because I looked at my portfolio and I know that now maybe this will benefit someone else too. Those that specialize in that Mary J. I had innovative industries. I think that's called. Like it's just oh, I don't like my numbers. I don't like when it's, like it's not, they're not performing well. And then the other one, I have equity residential, like, they specialize in like waterfront, like properties and things and spaces like that. And I'm just like, them and the toilet paper, Kimberly Clark, like, I was just like, why are these what's going on? Like, is there something I'm missing that's happening in the market maybe we're not aware of? Because I'm like, it's toilet paper. Is our paper good? Okay.
This is where it's important to actually kind of pay attention to what consumer sentiment is. And those CPI numbers, the CPI index that get announced, I'm not telling people to go dig into this because this is the kind of crazy stuff that I do all the time. But the consumer confidence index, and pay attention to consumer trends. Um, do you recognize now that I'll give you an example? Like I'll start with the Kimberly Clark. They have a lot of different things, that they produce. Okay, but let's just take the toilet paper for instance. The double stack typical roll of the toilet paper. What do you got? 12 in the stack or something like that. What does that generally run? About $13, $14, right? $13, $14 for the 9 pack or something like that.
Yes, sir. About 15. Mm-hmm.
$15. Here's the thing. The wipes, which take up a whole lot less room, they run about $9. They last a lot longer. I raised 4 girls, y'all. I'm gonna be petty for a minute. I'm like, are you Negroes actually eating the toilet paper? Because you use a wipe, you use 2 wipes, that's good. You straight. Y'all, that was one of the bane of my existence. I'm like, there was a fresh roll yesterday. I didn't even feed y'all enough to go through a roll of toilet paper. What's the problem? I'm telling you, people are moving to the wipes. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's small stuff that we're in. People are actually finding ways to cut corners all over the place. They're looking everywhere to cut corners. Not to mention, y'all gonna laugh at me, but I'm telling you the truth. I literally know off the top of my head. I got a good friend of mine. He's a single dad. He's divorced. This dude just had bidets installed in every bathroom in his house. Not the actual toilet bowl. He had for less than $100. And you can self-install them now. People are looking at every possible way to save money. That's a positive thing. So when a man like that goes down, when's the last time you actually walked into somebody else and seen a box of Kleenex?
Aha.
Now when if you go in your grandma's house, she got the little rectangular box of tissues on the side table and in the living room and in the room that nobody doesn't go in and still got the plastic on the couch and nobody better not sit in. She still got tissue in there. That tissue been in there since 1947. Ain't nobody touched that. But she had that. When's the last time you seen anybody actually? You go into a friend's house and they've got a box of Kleenex. It just doesn't happen. So the consumer demand has moved differently. Not saying that Kimberly Clark, they have a whole wide range of things that they produce. But honestly, yeah, they're taking some hits, so the stock is going down. Let's just take that for instance.
They also be said that it's not COVID and people ain't stashing toilet paper like they did, or they stashed so much during COVID that they just don't need to buy any no more.
That's the other part. That was the other thing I was going to bring up.
During COVID.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to bring up, Malika. COVID's not gone, but the freak out part of COVID is gone. People are not freaking out. So while they were seeing that huge boom, the market always corrects itself. So while they were shooting up through the sky, guess what? The market has to come back in line with pre-COVID levels when people were actually buying it at a normal rate. So that's why you're seeing it going down, because the market is actually correcting itself. Consumer sentiment is correcting itself. That's why you see that happening. It always will. The market will always balance itself out. So that's what you're seeing happening with them. And you was talking about oceanfront property. Here's the deal with that. Across the board, and y'all know I live on the coast. Across the nation, it is development city. You've got big companies snatching up property as quickly as they possibly can. Why? Because data centers are the new thing. Data centers are the new thing. They need water. They need water is the new, like, it's the new Bitcoin. So the deal is where you would actually see that normally going up, you see it going up when people buy it and sit on it. You do not see it going up when people actually buy it and it change hands. So that's what you're seeing, the kind of settling of those prices, because they're actually changing hands. People are taking their money, extricating it, selling to the big dogs, and walking away. That's why you don't see that going up. That's why. That's the reason why, to explain it. And that's why it's important to know, you guys hear me say it all the time, to know the back end of what you're invested in, because there's always a story. There's always a story. There's always a reason why, all the time. And you need to actually go and investigate that. If it's going down, there's a reason why. It may be a correction. It may be what we call a pullback, an adjustment for it to settle so institutional money can get settled into that particular stock before it goes down. It goes down, it goes to what we call a bullish run, or it goes on a bearish run. But you just got to know the why. And it all ties back to supply and demand. Always. It's always the case.
So with the Mary Jane,
it's always the case.
That's the case with the Mary Jane too?
Oh, the Mary Jane, that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother situation. The situation has always been the same. It's always been the same. And it's kind of in a waiting game, because until the federal government moves on how they schedule it, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Because here's the thing: you've got banks, and you got banks, you got credit unions, you've got the banking industry that's caught between a rock and a hard place. Because while it may be legal in a certain place, in a certain state, the banks are actually governed by the FDIC, which is federally. So they still can't take the money. They still can't take the money. even with the environment of deregulation. So they literally need a different avenue, and it's literally still a hugely great area because it, like for instance, it may be even for medicinal purposes, it's still scheduled the way that it's scheduled by the federal government. So, however they rule on it in a state, the banks are still controlled by the Treasury. So they're stuck with, okay, I'm cool in the state that I'm in, so I'm gonna actually have this laundromat, and I'm gonna fund this laundromat with the profits that I get from my other industry. But at that point, even if they do that, the IRS and the federal government can still come at them because of anti-money laws, because those are federally made. It is such a tough place for them to be. That's one of the reasons, just personally for me, I'm staying out of the game until there's a clear path, because it's just a difficult place to walk. Is it great money? Absolutely. They are a killer industry. But until the government figures out how to appropriately tax it, because that's the only reason why they won't do what they, well, not the only reason, but one of the main reasons, they have to be able to get their pound of flesh. And if they can't get their pound of flesh correctly, then they don't want to play. And that's what it boils down to. End of story. That's what it boils down to. It's interesting, but yeah, I wish it was different. But that's why you see them fluctuating, and it's been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and they're fighting for it. But you know, they're not going to agree on it. Not in the near future. Not in the near future. I do have something that I actually want to. I do have something that I want to share with y'all really quickly, and I'm not going to get deep in meditation with it. I just want to tell y'all this really quickly. I'm going to say this statement, and I'm going to run over something really quickly with y'all. One, into at least 20 people over the last 2 weeks that did not know this, and I'm going to say this, and I want y'all to hear me clearly. A will does not protect you or your assets from going through probate. Did anybody in here know that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I know you did, Maria. People think that because they have a will, that avoids probate. It does not. Average probate cost is $15,000. So having a will does not protect you. So I'm going to give y'all a stack really quick, just so y'all can understand this. If you are over the age of 30, and this is not for you 21-year-olds that are still in here, but this includes y'all that's 21 years old, 21-year-olds plus some. You know how y'all like to say, I'm 21-year-old. And a multiple. Yes. Listen to me carefully. I'm just going to give you the stack, because if you don't have this, then you need to fix it. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay? First and foremost, you need to have a will. Okay, let's start there. And the reason why you need to have a will, because it's an instruction manual. Okay, need to have a will. Let's just put that out there. The second thing you need to have, and y'all don't fight me on this, I don't care whether you have two nickels to rub together. You need to have a will, and you need to have a trust. That avoids probate. A will does not. Okay? And you need to have, if you are in, and I'll say this, you need to have a revocable trust. The only reason why you need to have an irrevocable trust is that you're over the age of 80 and you are not making more financial decisions in your life. Fight with me later about that, but that's what you need to have. A lot of you all also need to have a family trust in addition to that. That's two. That's two. A family trust, and some of you that have dependent kids also need what's called a special needs trust. Okay? That's the control tower. The will is the instruction manual, but it's in the instruction manual for the courts if you don't have a trust. You need to have a trust. You also need to have this. You need temporary muscle, which is term life. You also need a permanent foundation, which is whole life. You need a hybrid engine, which is the IUL. And you probably, if you own your house, you probably need mortgage protection. And you also need a way to transfer wealth. So that would, and everything I just named needs to be in your trust. You may need a pour over will. That may be the case too. The reason why I'm going over these is because most people think if I have a will and I got some life insurance, then I'm good. You're not. Stop it. It's not the case. Okay? I'm saying this because I keep running into people and I'm thinking, maybe I'm a little bit jaded because I've been in finances so long and I deal with retirement planning and things of that nature. I take for granted that people know these things, but I need to go over this. The foundation, you need to have a revocable living trust, maybe a pour over will, power of attorney, a healthcare directive. I just named 4 things you need to have. Trust, will, power of attorney, healthcare directive, and you probably need either 3 or 4 different kinds of insurances. That's a fact because it will hurt you if you don't. If you're walking around here, which is a whole life insurance, I'm sorry, you are actually running a 100-yard dash with no ankles and no knees. You just got thighs and feet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Chicken and rice. I'm just.
I told y'all.
A premium term life policy. You ever heard of that?
Yes, absolutely. Great plan. Great plan.
Oh, then I'm gonna leave it right alone. You said so.
Well, here's the thing. It depends on how it's structured. Just by itself, it's great. And for those that don't know what an ROP term life is, it's where you pay into a policy for a set number of years, and then after those years, like term policies generally, you pay for a set number of years. After those years are over, then you don't have the insurance and your premium are gone, but it's to protect you for those set number of years. A retirement premium is where you pay for a set number of years, maybe 5, 10, 15, 20. I think it goes up to 30. That's the limit that I've ever seen. Then at the end of those 30 years, you get all of your premiums back. So you get your money back. You don't have insurance anymore, but you get all of your money back. That's return of premium. That's generally a great setup. Generally, it's a great setup. And Malika, if you ever shoot me the name of the company, I'll tell you whether it's a pretty good plan. Unless it's something new that they came out with.
Okay, yeah.
Taxed on that money get back?
Yes. So in 10 years, I have. You know what? Let me pull it out. Because there's something like the term, if I kept it to the end of the term, so I have a 20-year policy. If I kept it to the end of the term, it would be something like $30,000 cash.
Malika's going to actually call me when she gets that, and she's not going to pay taxes on that because we're going to finish that.
Yeah, right. But you know what I did do? I made my trust the beneficiary.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the way that's supposed to happen. And
the irrevocable trust. File with the
oh,
state.
Jesus.
No. Okay, we'll talk offline.
Yeah. Yeah, please call.
He start saying off.
Did she get the waterfall? She got the waterfall wrong.
But we'll talk offline, Malika. Yeah, I'm gonna call you. If you don't call me, I'm gonna call you.
I got you. If we don't talk today, I got a client call at 8:30. But if we don't talk tonight, we'll talk tomorrow, definitely.
Okay. Yeah.
Can't you do an affidavit of heirs to avoid probate?
Depending on what state and depending on how you set that up, I don't like it because it's kind of flim. I don't like it because the courts can actually get around that. I don't like it because I've seen people get beat up with one. I like the slam dunk. Malika, I think you still like Mike. Sweetie.
I got you.
Yeah. I just like the slam dunk. They can't do anything about it. I like the solidity of the finality of the trust. I like that. They can't do anything with that.
Yeah, me too. But if someone's in the middle of a trust or not, didn't have a trust, just a will, and they have to sell the property for whatever reason, sometimes you can do an affidavit of heirs to prevent probate, to prevent distress or foreclosure, I think.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't do this stuff. I just ask the questions.
In certain situations, it does work, and if it has to be a quick move, I just prefer people to be prepared. But yes, you're right. It can work. I just wouldn't want people to depend on it because you can actually move around it.
This is in case of emergency.
Yeah, in case of emergency, exactly. Break the glass. That's what I would say. Yeah, in case of emergency, break the glass. Turn on an Uncle Luke song and make it happen. That's what I would say. But you're right. But I literally wanted to just go through those and let you guys know that you need those 5. And like I said before, you need it. If you have grandbabies, if you got kids that are under the age of 30, you need term life insurance. You need it because that protects the bills that you're going to have in the future. Whole life insurance actually puts you in the ground. That's all it does. Do not use whole life insurance to leave money to anybody. It is a bad deal. It is not designed for that. It is using a wrench to drive a nail. Wrong tool, wrong job. You need term to actually protect the bills that you're going to have. You also need an IUL, which is a hybrid engine to actually build wealth within those 2 things. You do not need your mama, daddy, uncle, brother, sister, cousin, nephew, baby daddy, baby mama. None of the people need to be the beneficiaries. Your trust needs to be the beneficiaries.
Hey, GA.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, everybody. I just wanted to ask about the IUL. It's my understanding, please correct me if I'm wrong, that you can, if your money's within the IUL, that is protected, that cannot be under probate court. Is that correct?
The money in any insurance goes directly to the beneficiary. Mm-hmm. No matter what insurance it is, except for car insurance. And, I'm just saying, the term, the whole life, any type of insurance like that, it goes directly to the beneficiary. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you, it does not need to go to a person. I'm going to give y'all a quick example why it doesn't make sense to put people as the beneficiary of your life insurance. It is the craziest thing on the planet. You don't need to do it. Because let's just say, for instance, that you have an insurance policy that's worth $100,000. Say you got one of those. Say, for instance, that you have a child. God forbid something happens to you, that child just turned 19 or just turned, say, for instance, they're 24. Okay, they're just out of college. They got an entry-level job. They're making $45,000 a year. Okay, they're probably in the 18%, 15%, somewhere in their tax bracket. Guess what? You pass away, they get dumped $100,000. Now they make 6 figures. Here's the problem. That money, that $100,000 is not taxable. But But because they have to report it, the $45,000 that they were paying taxes on, now they have to pay taxes on that $45,000 like they made $145,000. That puts them in a completely different tax bracket, and now they're paying way more taxes. And 9 times out of 10, they didn't have their I-9 set up to pay $145,000 tax bracket on $45,000. So now they owe back taxes. Guess where they're going to pay the back taxes out of? The $100,000 that you left them. So literally, it's not going to be theirs. Everybody followed that. Did it?
Oh, that hurt.
Yeah,
That hurt.
Do not do that to people. It needs to be the trust. Nobody's name needs to be as the beneficiary. It needs to be the trust. And the trust is actually the control tower. It protects all of your assets, all of your wealth. And again, I say this a million times. This is not for the wealthy, just for the wealthy people. If you got 2 quarters, a nickel, a coin collection, and 3 paintings that you got from swap meet, get yourself a trust. I'm sorry. If you've been paying into a mortgage for more than 10 years, you need trust. The equity needs to go somewhere. Stop it. You need to protect that. Do not do that to the people. And I'll go over the 5 again, and I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm not going to keep the children of Israel too long. I'm going to play like Pharaoh and let you people go. But you need to actually have the term, like I said, is the income shield. It needs to be 10 to 20 times your income coverage. This protects your mortgage if something happens to you. It protects your kids' education if you didn't save up for it. Living expenses if somebody goes down. That's what it's for. Mortgage protection, insurance that the house is paid off in case something happens to you. They get to keep the house. The house is paid off. You need that. They don't need to be paying out of insurance benefits to keep the house. That's not what that's for. Again, a wrench trying to drive a nail. Use the tool for what it's used for. Whole life is the permanent base to put you in the ground. That is all it's used for. It's used simply for that. Nothing more. If you've got more than $30,000 in a whole life policy, you're wrong. And your shoes are on the wrong feet and you need a pedicure. Stop it. The IUL is the wealth engine. It's designed so you can put money in it. And this is not for you to borrow from. That's what your investments are from. Y'all don't follow this TikTok and this Instagram. You put $100,000 and then you can borrow money from your IUL to start a business and then go get 4 or 5 credit cards from different banks. Shut up, sir. Your jerry curl is wet and greasy and you left staying on the couch. Stop talking. That is not how that works at all. It is the wealth engine so you can have additional funds in retirement. You know what, Health? I'm doing this with you today. Yeah, that's not okay.
Let your soul blow, baby. Oh, we help. We need supervision. Oh.
And that's actually for tax-free access. You can actually put money in it, hold it tax-free. And for you all, a lot of you all are business owners. You need business insurance. Business insurance. You need E-Man insurance. If you are still working more in your business than working on your business, if you make no money, if you go down, you need to keep insurance on yourself so that if you get sick, if you are in an accident, if you actually go down, if God forbid if COVID come back, you're not working for a while. Guess what happens? Keyman Insurance still pays everybody and everything while you're down. That's the purpose of it. You need that. If you are a business owner, hear me clearly. If you're still working in your business more than you're working on your business, and you don't have key man insurance, you went outside with no underwear on. Stop it. Stop it. And you crisscross your clothes on backwards. You need to fix it. I'm just saying. Make you want to jump, crisscross to make it. So I'm just gonna go over those, and I will actually put them in my Substack. You guys know my Substack. You know where to find it. This is Making Money Babies with GA on Substack. Look it up. Just a regular person, 40 years old or older, that you have some kids, you need a term, you need a hold, you need an IUL, you need a trust. If you have a house, you need mortgage protection. And if you got grandbabies, you need a juvenile. All of that, beneficiaries need to be your trust. You need a revocable trust. You need a will. You need a health care directive, because you do not want cousins, your uncle, and your baby brother fighting over, well, she told me that she wanted this done. She didn't want to be on life support. Dude, please don't do that to y'all. Please don't do that to people. Have it written down. Please, for the love that's all that's holy, Samuel L. Jackson and the snakes on the plane, please have a health care directive. Have that. And just two more. If you're in business, you need key man insurance. You need, and if you're dealing with me, I'm going to talk to you about a buy-sell agreement. You need that, because if you're in business, you need to have an exit plan about what you're going to do when your business is so successful that you're ready to exit. You need to have a buy-sell agreement that at that point you may have partners, and what that looks like. That needs to be already set up. Any questions? Any questions? Anybody got questions?
I just want to know what type of activator they use on that curly perm.
What was the one in the blue and white box?
I think that was Afro
The Afro Sheen was in the black and gold with gold writing. But what was the one with blue and white box?
Wasn't that one Luster's? I think it was Luster's, ain't it? The blue and white bottle. I know what it looked like. I think it was Luster's.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all.
Didn't
Okay, y'all. Y'all got to supervise us.
What you say, Shanika?
It's time for you to go take a nap.
Thank you, Shanika. You needed to come supervise. I told y'all can't leave us only children. You know we Southern, and we ain't used to being up too late. We got to have supervision.
I will tell you guys, if you have questions about if you're right, if you're not holding your mouth right, if you're not sure if the chicken is done, if you're not sure whether they cook, whether you got stuffing or whether you got dressing, you can hit the link up top, book an appointment. We'll talk over what you got, because it's the 6 things that you need. You need the lock and control, which is trust in the will. You need to over-insure the risk, which is term and the mortgage protection. You need to build a permanent base, which is a whole life. Create a tax-free environment, which is the IUL. Extend it to kids. The grandbabies need to be insured, and that includes uncle and cousin Pookie and Ray Ray and them that's living wild out in the street. Guess what? If something happened to them, somebody gonna have to actually take care of that. You don't want to do that out of your income, so you need to do that. And you need to protect the income source, which is business insurance, key man insurance, and things of that nature. Holla at your boy. I just needed to say that because y'all know in BWC we've experienced some loss, and it just, having conversations with people, having conversations with different people in the space, I said, you know what? I might need to go over that and cover that again, because it's just sitting with me, and I don't think we talk about it enough. And TM was having that conversation last week, so I'm gonna be out like a kid location twice on Sunday, and I promise you, I'm gonna get you right. I'm gonna get you right. It's not, you ain't gotta worry about looking like Rudy Giuliani. You ain't running down your forehead. I'm not gonna let you trim and bury You're standing up with a window in the front. Make sure that you're taking care of. It's not gonna be. I know you laugh. That ain't gonna happen. Health Wells, what you got for it?
Oh, I'm just saying, we done been outside, we done throw some D on it, and then we got you. Hey, we finna get you buried right. I'm just saying. I am appreciating this. Listen, this was part 6, y'all, of Rucking and Bucking. See, I want y'all to think about y'all. How I say it, IKYL moments. Next week, Monday, 7 o'clock. Same bat time, same bat place. Part 7 of Rucking and Bucking with Shawnte and GA. I'm just saying. The clock on the wall says that's all, and y'all know, I ain't used to being up too late, so that's why I'm so giddy. GA, we that part.
Donald's almost finished with this podcast, so we got to let Marla go. Debbie, we tonight. We did behave, but next week, y'all in trouble. Cause I got something for you. It's right up your alley, Debbie. That's all right. Come on back. Got something for you.
That's right.
Checked out the vitamin D, the link that you sent, so I'm gonna order my vitamin D tonight because I need it. So,
woohoo! Debbie, see, you missed it. I was talking about throwing that D. Oh gosh, Daphne, I saw you on mic. Go for it, sister.
Real quick, because I don't know if my mic is on or off. I did see you do that, and I'm sorry that I missed it because that was first thing that came to my mind. But health, if you could do something on Urolithin A.
Oh my gosh, you're in my Mother's Day week layout. Oh my gosh, yes, that has been cooking in the kitchen. I have been like, I've been just like, it's been so juicy. I have been delving into the research like a true nerd that I am. Yes. So that is coming Mother's Day week. Actually, yeah, so that Monday, what is that? Oh, that's my mama's birthday, May 11th. Yep. Get ready. Whoop, whoop.
All right, GA, I'm trying to book this call with you now. So, yeah, tomorrow.
All right, let's make it happen. Daphne, I saw you came off mic. You wanted to hop in. Was that Daphne? I saw somebody.
Yeah, I thought I saw her on mic.
You know what? I'm not doing this with Marla. Shut the room down. Did you see what she put in the chat?
Oh god. Oh my god.
Let me find my other phone. I'm texting Donald right now. If he don't come get her, he probably in the kitchen. Let me be glad my other phone ain't plugged up.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what.
Telling you. Hey, Darren blaming me about that Rishi. I said in the evening, brother.
This was a possible side effect.
Like.
Yesterday, and I woke up the next day, and I could. I was like struggling to get my. Oh my lord! You never told me.
Oh yeah, you be out. You get a good night's sleep. Good sleep. Well, I don't know. You sure they ain't put something else up in yours? Cause
the other name, the blah blah, some name that begins with G, another name for Rishi, Gandamara, something like that. I took it, not knowing what it was gonna do. I thought it was gonna wake me up, but the thing knocked me out. But yeah, if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, the other day I was in a room with Health Wells. She was talking about all these different natural things that you can take to help you regulate your system and this, that, and the other. And I went and tried this thing without reading the instructions or asking ChatGPT first. Or maybe should have bought the thing and come to you before I took. This thing knocked me out. I was supposed to do a room on Clubhouse and I could barely function.
oh my god.
I had to finish it earlier. Then I had some quick about an ex that I thought I let go a long time ago, and then I couldn't think straight. Then the next day I woke up and I couldn't get up for about 2 hours. Just sitting there lying there, just thinking about life, tired. It's all fun.
Not the first thing I'm thinking about. I was about to recommend that reishi mushroom coffee to a gang of folks, but
You know what? Oh, that's a conversation for another day. Huh? We go and say, I'm sorry. I had you rocking in the corner with. Your fault. Everyone does. All right, hey, you should have called me, man.
I did say that.
The Philippines, I'm experimenting with things. Like I'm really near China, right? So there's certain things that are going to come across like more pure or different, and there's certain things that'll be here that maybe haven't heard about in the Western world. So I've been experimenting, but I've learned I need to really take my time with the experimentation. I'll be thinking about ginseng later to wake me up. But here, when you get ginseng, yeah, you know what ginseng is, yeah. Yeah, when you take ginseng, you got to be careful because there's some types of ginseng that you're meant to take it before intimate activity.
Oh, pretty much all of the ginseng. Yeah. Yeah, the ginseng get you up, get you right. Yeah. Get that blood flow.
Yeah, I've had to make the wrong one. Yeah, that make you be out here looking like a directional sign.
you do that as a section. Section of Rucking and Bucking the
After hours.
things to enhance. Yeah, I think that would be.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would love to talk about. That's what I miss about when I was writing and doing the column, because guys, actually, those are the type of questions, and it was just so fun, like answering those, and how many things that they didn't realize also impedes the blood flow. Things that block up the heart arteries. A lot of guys don't understand it blocks up the flow there as well. Yes.
So I can, I'm turning 55 this year, and I'm gonna be 60 and sexy, so I need the hell's we got to talk because I need my stat.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh God, the silver fox is ready. That's what I'm talking about. I got you, brother. I got you, brother. Yes, but Darren, in my defense, I did specify that Rishi is for the evening, ideally best before bed. I said, now if you're gonna do a coffee version of it, that's if you're someone that's really high strung and you need to take the edge off. So I've always, and I even mentioned it then, couple disclaimers, you probably was sleeping on me when I was saying it, but yes, Rishi is best in the evening before bed.
I know what you're saying is the 100% truth because I felt so crazy and out of it that when I finally got my mind back, I went to what do you call it? I went on ChatGPT and I typed in the exact name of the thing that I took, this Ganda blah blah Rishi, the other name for Rishi. I went into ChatGPT and I asked about it. And ChatGPT said, you should probably take this at night time before you go to sleep. Don't take this in the daytime when you got things to do. So exactly what you just said. I'm like, oh my lord. So you are literally the Chat GPT of stuff.
Yes.
So yeah. I came into this is why I shouldn't come into your rooms late and take half the information.
God, that is too funny. I gotta see that. What do you put in there?
That's why I'm taking no more. Yo, with these people out here. Another thing, my father made a concoction of a type of sea moss and put some other stuff in it, and if a woman's taking contraception, this particular sea moss concoction thing can go around that and still make the lady pregnant. So when I was like 18 years old, I got somebody pregnant and she was on contraception. She was definitely on contraception 100%. But yeah, she got pregnant, and now I've got a big old son, almost ready to be a granddad soon. But yeah, that's a conversation for another day. If Health Wells does something around sexual blah blah blah. But I'd love to be in on that. Yeah, I'm done talking anyway. She's gonna do it. I'm done. We gonna do it. We gonna. She's gonna have to do that room. That's a different kind of rucking, but that's.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. It's got to be done. You gonna handle it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna fall back, put my feet up on that one right there. I'm gonna light me a Cuban and get me some bourbon and just sit back and relax on that one. Alicia, it's so good to see you. Valerie, it's so good to see you too. Good to see you, Tanya. And I saw Nancy pop in for a minute. It was good to see her as well. I see Shanika. She ran off when you started talking about the D. But we're gonna close the room.
Don't do my sister like that. Oh, y'all ready to come off mic and let's wish the people a great night. 5, four, Hakuna Matata. 3, tonight's the night. Oh, okay. 2, you matter. 1. Good Rocky. Hasta la vista, baby. Peace. And about Harry. Bye.
their problems. Like I was the go-to person for everybody.
A passion for keep it on, as if you were just
doing much because I'm also trying to see if I may buy an El Salvador because I'm also from there. So it's kind of one week I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and buy enough. I guess my thing, I have multiple things, but they all kind of tie in together. I started my doctorate many years ago when I stopped because life was happening.
curricular programs, helping with homework, stuff like that, So I guess just really drawing up a game. Failure only attempts app. Has it paid off for all? Right.